Welcome to Biology Made Easy. Today we are discussing the light-independent state of photosynthesis. This stage of photosynthesis is also known as the dark reaction stage, not because it occurs only in the dark, it occurs during light, day and night. The only thing is that it does not need light to occur. Then it's also known as the Kelvin, Benson and Basham. They discovered this cycle between 1946 and 1953. It's also known as C3 cycle. C3 not because of Kelvin, but because of carbon fixation. Carbon fixation is simply incorporating carbon from carbon dioxide into a stable organic compound. Now, remember, photosynthesis is simply water plus carbon dioxide, sunlight, chlorophyll, and we have glucose. So, carbon dioxide is put together as glucose, organic compound. But the name C3 is because the first stable organic compound formed in the process is a C3 organic compound known as glycerate 3-phosphate. The same thing is called phosphoglycerate. The same thing is called phosphoglyceric acid. We want to take note that the light-independent processes take place solely in the stroma of the chloroplast. So the C3 cycle or the light-independent reactions, this is how it starts. Ribulose biphosphate, a 5-carbon compound, takes in carbon dioxide. The reaction is catalyzed by enzyme ribulose biphosphate carboxylase, simply called Rubisco. So the process of ribulose biphosphate combining with carbon dioxide under the influence of this compound, the process is known as carboxylation. Well, carbon dioxide combining with this 5-carbon compound form an unstable 6-carbon compound which quickly splits into two to form glycerate 3-phosphate, 2 molecules of it. This glycerate 3-phosphate, as we said, is the first stable organic compound during carbon fixation. And glycerate phosphate, we have said, is also known as 3-phosphoglyceric acid or 3-phosphoglycerate. This glycerate phosphate is phosphorylated as it takes in phosphate from ATP, and then it's also reduced as it takes in hydrogen ions from NAD phosphate reduce. So the NAD phosphate reduce becomes NAD phosphate, and this process forms this sugar triose phosphate. Triose phosphate is also known as glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate or 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde. And this is the first sugar that is formed during the process of photosynthesis. Now this triose phosphate, we can have two of them combined to form phosphorylated 6-carbon sugar. Example is fructose diphosphate. And the triose phosphate that is formed, only 1/6 of it goes to form phosphorylated sugar. 1/5 of it, that is a large proportion of the triose phosphate, goes to regenerate the ribulose biphosphate. Only 1/6 of the triose phosphate combines with another triose phosphate to form phosphorylated 6-carbon sugar like fructose diphosphate. The fructose diphosphate will turn into glucose phosphate, and this phosphorylated glucose is quickly turned into other forms like sucrose, starch or cellulose. Also, this phosphorylated glucose can also form amino acids or fatty acids. So this is the light-independent reactions, Kelvin-Benson cycle, or the C3 cycle. In our next lesson, we will look at how photosynthesis, the C3 cycle, is related to respiration. If the lesson have been useful, give us your likes and do subscribe. Thank you very much. Goodbye.